Hello.
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 Every Rush song.
Hello and welcome to Every Rush Song. We discuss songs by the rock band Rush. We cover all aspects of the songs and the recordings. We will eventually discuss every Rush song.
Every song. Every Rush song. Okay.
Jay got off topic.
What?
So what are we talking about today, gentlemens?
Jane, today we're going to talk about Rush.
Ah, yes. Well, this is our first album that we're going to take song by song and tackle this album, an album called
Power Window.
Power Windows.
And
Now,
in honor of the occasion, I was going to wear my Power Windows t-shirt that I got at the concert, but there's two problems. I couldn't find it, and the second problem was it was about, I think it was like a medium. So that it would actually would have pretty would have, I think it would have been kind of sexy, but so instead, snakes and arrows. Snakes. There you go.
now, did y'all
See?
also buy, it seemed like, because we saw them at Reunion Arena for Power Windows, and then when we got outside of the parking lot, like where we had to park away from the arena, and there was these guys out there selling these other Rush shirts for Power Windows. Did y'all buy those too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought the one with the
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, the one with the guy with the banana. I got a
Yeah.
knockoff of that out also on the way out to the car. And
How
I think
long before it shrunk to like a child's small?
it fell apart before it even had a chance to ever shrink. It was just
Wow.
came out just in rags and just good while it
Well,
lasted.
that's what you get. That's what you get, sir.
Yeah.
I was
So-
barely able to afford the ticket that I bought from Pat Higgum.
Higginbotham?
Yeah,
Oh.
because he ended up not being able to go. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't planning on going, but he called me up. And I did a bunch of chores, earned the $25 I needed for that ticket.
How crazy is that? That's back in the day now. If you can't even get a $25 ticket.
No, you can't park for $25.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Park.
Yeah, exactly. You can't buy a beer for $25.
Right.
That is true. What you
And
said
that's
is
a
true.
damn.
And then what if you want nachos as well?
You're gonna have to take out a loan, like maybe against your house or something. I don't know.
A nacho loan.
A notch. Sorry, sir, this is not your loan.
So, Jay, do you have any like data, stats, information about this album? Power Windows?
Well, I don't have a lot of stats because I know that that makes Tim get tired.
That's why I
but-
wanted them.
I love stats. What are you talking about?
But this is the 11th studio album of Rush, came out in October 11th, 1985. And this is again more synth oriented as with the previous couple albums. And with this album, they also included sampling and electronic drums.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Do you have roller toms?
But yeah, so this was I thought this was one of their more popular albums, but I think it's just because it's more poppy. And I don't think there was a single there's not a single radio ready song on here because with every song checking in at about 5 to 6 minutes long. And it's not really a great raw album to show off Neil's skills on the drums.
Oh.
I mean, there's
Dissenting
a little playing,
opinions
but come on.
from the somebody must not have listened to the guitar solo during
Not
marathon.
showing off his
Well,
skills.
Right,
now-
where is the kickoff J button?
I have a one, but I found the album to be, I guess, kind of mid-tempo, kind of mellow, fast. There's some fast tempo, not really a real rocker. But what it does for me here is the album. We've talked about this before. It sends me back like high school. It kind of I remember going
We
to the concert. I remember hearing Rush.
so we
Really
were
starting to get into Rush for the first time.
we were juniors
Um,
when it came out, right?
yeah, 85. Yeah, I think so.
October of
No,
85.
85,
yeah,
86,
85,
86. Yeah,
yeah,
86.
we were
yeah.
juniors.
Yeah, yeah.
And um and then of course the overall theme of the album, I believe, is power.
Yes, all
Power.
aspects of
How to
power.
get it,
All
how to lose it,
aspects of power.
controlling it.
Yeah. Coincidentally, um, when I went to that concert, I couldn't roll down my windows because of the power window. No,
Did you
that's
have power windows? I
I
still
don't
like
think.
crank windows
No,
then.
I
Power
had a crank
windows
window.
was a thing of the rich or a thing of the
I
usual.
was driving a Ford Monarch boat car. It was I think it was unbreakable. I tried, but this didn't we're talking AM radio, no FM, and, yeah, so no power windows there.
It's funny. I've been listening to it and I hear lots of musical things that I really like in general. Just like from Marathon, the eighth, I mean the quarter notes on the bass, just dum, dum with the I love those kinds of beats. And then like a lot of the noises that Alex is doing with the guitar, with the harmonics and the wob, with the
I
with the
love the harmonic
R.
thing. I was just gonna say, I'm listening to it today, and I love that whole harmonic thing on the good. It's I just think it's a cool thing.
It finally occurred to me that these weren't things that I don't like these things because of power windows. I mean, yeah, I don't like
Power
power
windows?
windows
You don't
because of
like
all
power
these
windows?
things. I think I
Where's the
like
ec
all these things because of power windows. I think I've had it backwards this whole time. I like power windows because I like this kind of guitar thing, or I like power windows because I like this kind of drum beat. It occurred to me that I like these types of power windows is what made me like those styles.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
So like Tim,
Yes,
remember from I know you played it with Julian Morgan and Fantasia, and I think we played it with Trust, right? Remember Fall in Love Again?
yes.
Did that
Oh, wait a second.
did that ever
Wait a
sound
second.
derivative of anything?
Okay. Yes, because I was thinking about this earlier today, listening to the ending of Grand Designs, and I remember how we were trying to end Fall in Love Again and
Yes.
trying to make it so designish,
Yeah, yeah.
with hitting, just different beats, me and you, bass and drums.
Yes.
And I think it was Julian who told us to cut that shit out.
He hated anything progressive.
Right,
He just wanted
right.
straight rock, nothing
Yes,
heavy, nothing progressive, just
yes. But I can't believe you just brought that up.
well,
I
I mean,
was going to bring it up.
that song, it was somewhere between Big Money, Grand Designs, and then Separate Ways. That kind
Yes,
of a because I
yes,
wanted the keyboard intro,
yes.
but then the main like the bass rhythm was kind of ripped right from those first two songs. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
a little bit under the influence. Yeah.
And of course, the that little drum break at the end of the guitar solo in Fall in Love Again. My chicka 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 chick. I was trying to make that, trying to sound like the last drum little break of YYZ, the but I just come up with chicku 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 chicku. Yeah, yeah. Not a good drummer.
That is
Oh,
not true.
I disagree with that.
What about that cover? What do y'all think about the cover?
I love the cover.
Yeah,
What next?
I mean, it's first cover to represent youth because they had a
Okay.
boy on the cover.
This is a
And yes,
young lad.
in his room,
Who
Striking
is into
hair.
voyeurism, obviously.
right?
He's yeah.
And it's got the remote control and power windows going on
Exactly.
there. Now, I'll tell you this, Jay, because Shane had quit. Our
I quit a lot of things. Could you be more specific?
on our I remember on our senior year band trip, our good friend who came from the region of the South Colombian part of this earth,
Sir, he was born in California.
whatever. I remember he came up, we were in the hotel, and he was telling me that they had just passed by a record store and Rush's new album was out. And I was like, no way. He's like, dude, it's and the title is awesome. It's called Electric Can Openers. And he had me. I was like, electric can openers. That could
Yeah, I
be
can
a
see.
possibility. I could see that. Oh golly. Mm.
Like a lot of their albums have like multiple levels of puns and wordplay. So like the power windows, he's got the window with a remote, like he would open the window with like as though the
Right.
window outside is
Right.
lower. And then you can see the storm, and I'm looking at it right here. I have it really big.
Right. Yes.
Got like the storm or something out in the window. And did you ever notice that there's an outlet there right in front of him? But nothing's plugged into it. And then you can see in the one television that's closest to him, more towards the middle of the frame.
Right.
Because what's cool about it is I've never measured it, but the corner of the room is like right in the middle of the album. But on the TV there, it's got the guy with the binoculars, which I can never tell. Is it supposed to be him? Is it the same person? But how is there something on the television when none of them are plugged in?
Well, but you
Ghosts.
maybe
Power.
maybe it was an additional outlet that you don't see.
No, they would have put it up. That's
Well,
notice that.
maybe.
Maybe. And then also notice that the television, it's got these hinge things on the side, like it's gonna rotate this way. And how could the big cathode ray tube televisions that we had back then? There was no way that
Ooh.
they could have been on a little hinge and
Grace
rotate
under
like
pressure.
that. It's almost like a mirror, you know, the little vanity mirror, and how they rotate on the little hinge.
Yeah.
The TV's got that on it. How did they know that TV were going to be thin enough for that?
Because for crying out loud, I keep telling you guys, they're Canadian.
Oh yeah, I always forget.
They are
Yeah.
so far,
I always forget that. I'm like,
they
where
are
they
so
from?
far more advanced than us
Oh, so they
because
had
they're
that in the
Canadian.
Yes,
Right.
Canadian.
It's
Yeah.
just that they keep that technology, even though they have it, they keep it secret and hidden.
Yeah, got to keep that under wraps.
Okay.
Right.
Uh,
Oh,
You know, I think if Rush were to have done like another album like in the early 2000s, they could have done one like a follow-up to this, could have been PowerPoint. As in, PowerPoint. Hello?
all right.
No.
So, Rush
Jay?
fans, we can't wait for you to join us next week.
Wah, wah.
So I'm curious. So we're probably 8-9 weeks away from having gone through all of them. I want to see if anything we like about it changes. I can't imagine on this one because it's might be the one we're most familiar with since it came out right, like right when we were in high school. And
Would have given it a lot of listening to.
yeah, I don't know if much would have. I think a lot might have changed between then and now as we've got older and appreciate things more. Like it's funny how I really loved Grand Designs at the time, even though I had no idea what it was about. But now, as I've gotten older and I think I have a lot better idea of what Grand Designs is about, it is way more awesome than I ever thought it could be. The lyrics to that song. I can't wait till we get, I guess, in 2 weeks from this one. There is so much in Grand Designs to uncover. It is still, I think, I don't know, it's hard to say if it's my favorite because then when getting into territories or marathon, those I don't know. It's hard to pick favorite from
I
the
love territories, by the way. I'm glad you have a lot to say about Grand Designs because I don't.
well, in podcast years, you have 3 weeks to look it over and see what you can decipher from it. But in real time, you've probably got about 30 minutes. So sorry.
Well,
Now,
I already
here's something about Grand Designs,
Tell me.
which would be, to me, extremely odd. And boy, hope I'm getting this correct, but I don't know, it was 2 or 3 months ago on the YouTube, I was searching just for, some Rush bootleg concert audio
Yeah.
to listen to. And I was listening to a very decent recording from the Power Windows tour. And Rush played Grand Designs as their first song for the encore.
Man.
The encore. It's a brand new song. Who does that?
Rush because they're freaking Rush, man. They do
Right.
whatever the hell they
Right,
want
They
to.
because
wanna
they're
be.
Canadian and they're so far advanced.
That's true.
Yes.
But
They
yes,
knew that we were going to be looking at YouTube
right.
30 years later, 20. How do you do math? How long ago was that?
Oh,
It-
math is hard
85,
You got to
55,
divide the
05,
commas by the
15,
by the principal interest compounded
30? Am I
annually
counting right? Was
Right.
that 37 years ago?
by 9.
by 9.
Yes.
Carry them
So,
to
Tim,
Yes.
emotion detector.
Oh,
How does that make you feel?
very emotional.
It's
Can
not
you
one of
detect it?
ooh, rush pun, rush pun. Not one of your favorites, is it?
I mean, it's the weakest song on the album. To me, it was, we got an idea. We'll make it work. Don't have anything else right now. We just got to throw it on there. We gotta fill that space up. And since Neil was, apparently by Jay's opinion, taking a back seat to showing off his drum talent, they
I'm
didn't
just
wanna-
saying he didn't it wasn't a Neil Peart showcase.
You think he just decided, I'll take this album off? Or,
Well,
No,
no,
I
no,
mean,
no,
no,
no.
he's still very much a part. I'm just
But
saying it wasn't a showcase.
okay, so for as I guess it was you, Jay, who sort of said Power Windows was a little more popish
I think so.
in a
For
way.
Rush.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think that out of the keyboard era, and what I count as the keyboard era, I always debate if I count Signals in that or yes, there's more keyboards on Signals than moving pictures,
yeah.
but I don't want to say it took the forefront. Grace Under Pressure, I felt like it did. Now they always said on Signals the keyboards took over while Alex's guitar was sort of hidden in those songs from Signals. But Grace Under Pressure, the guitar just came roaring back, and they had felt like Power Windows was uh, an equal balance. Keyboards. I don't know if I completely agree with that, but for the keyboard era, and I count that as Grace Under Pressure, Power Windows, Hold Your Fire.
So you don't count Signals in.
I really don't. I
Okay.
want to at times, but I don't.
Okay.
I think Power Windows is the best of the three. Of those 3 albums, Hold Your Fire, Power Windows, Grace Under Pressure. The overall mix of it is really good. Everything it almost sounds without the audience, almost like a live recording, but very, very polished live recording. It just seems this the sound seems to be alive to me. That's the only way I can describe
Ooh,
it.
that's a good way to describe it.
And so with the way they were, kind of changing the way they were writing songs, and I don't want to say they were trying to go commercial, you know. Um, I think Neil's drum writing approach for the songs, um, I don't want to say takes a back seat, but some of the stuff he was doing was stuff that he had not done on the albums before. I mean, we got quite a bit territories, that straight 1, 2, 3, 4 on the kick drum, with 16th hi-hat. Um, Marathon. After you get through the introduction, it's just straight, and you didn't hear that from moving pictures with the straight 4 on the kick drum, you know. S-
Yeah.
s- you know, um, Territories, I guess you could consider it their dance number, you know,
A lot more straightforward,
a
but
lot more
theme time
straightforward
signatures.
for
Better
right.
upbeat. Yeah,
Yes.
I can see that at a disco.
And so the stuff that he was doing wasn't, the really quick, powerful, fast fills down the toms and not a whole lot of, uh, double bass drum rolls or anything like that. He wasn't doing that, but, um, he, look in the guitar solo part of Manhattan Project, that's, that's some pretty kick-ass rhythm section going on right there.
Yes, it is.
No. Um,
Actually, I was thinking about that right now. I listened to that one again today, and right now, that's one of my favorites on the album. I love the whole concept of the song. I love the music. I really like that. I really like the Manhattan Project.
oh yeah, and it's just yeah, it's a great song. It's
Yeah.
powerful, you know.
I hear people say, I've heard people call Grace Under Pressure a heavy album, and maybe it would be, maybe it is heavy musically, but the guitars aren't as distorted or as crunchy as I'd like. But I think I don't want to say muddy, but maybe more echoey. But there is a distinction between Grace Under Pressure and Power Windows, where Power Windows seems cleaner and
Right.
crisper, like you
Yes.
said. Almost, and it's the difference in the producer, obviously. I mean, the visions each one had
Yeah.
for the album. But Grace Under Pressure, I think was more for Alex, was more riff driven. There's a lot more guitar riffs that were the basis of the song. Where in Power Windows, it was more of the harmonics and the big, powerful open chords, and then the ringing and the wah, more like kind of
Right.
like a
Well,
very
he's
complementary sound effect.
yeah.
Especially like on Power Windows and Grand Designs, especially when you're listening with headphones, you can kind of hear the keyboards doing their thing, and or Neil and Getty, the rhythm section, kind of going with the keyboard line more towards the middle of the mix. But then you can hear Alex on one side playing the chords and the harmonics, and on the whammy bar making sound effects, little splashes and blips and all kinds of dings from the other side from the keyboards, all those little splash effects, I guess. And I think when you listen to the live versions, you hear, especially Clockwork Angels, the live versions of from Power Windows, have a lot
Yes.
more heavier, crunchier guitar on those. And I think when you listen to those, and you can hear what he's doing, that he's doing a lot more than you can hear on Power Windows if you're not paying as close as attention because of all the other stuff going on. You it's you get a massive appreciation for A, what Alex is doing, and B, the intricacies of that recording, because there's so many different things going on with the sounds, with the drums, the bass, the guitar, the keyboard, and then the sound effects. but it's never cluttered, it's never muddy, it's all still
Right.
clean, and it's
Yeah.
the orchestration of those songs and that production is incredible.
Right. And it's so much more
I'm
than
gonna quit talking like this.
Grace Under Pressure. And, Grace Under Pressure was a trying time for them. It was the longest they had ever spent in the studio recording Grace Under Pressure. And there was the song Kid Gloves is sort of about, you know, they were bickering and stuff at each other during that recording process. And you would think Power Windows would have taken a much longer time
Oh,
to
wow.
lay down because of they got a lot busier with the orchestrations and the keyboards and and it's a better sounding album.
Tim, you mentioned how long it took to record Grace Under Pressure. I'm looking, it says November of 83 until March of 84.
Right.
About how
That is
long
a
it
long
took us
time.
to record the Durango Brothers album, wasn't it, Jay?
Yeah,
Took us
and it was far more intricate.
Yes, yes, yes.
well, and back to the influence of Power Windows on me, Jay. I remember you and I had some disagreements where Jay wanted to keep it more simple and raw of a production. I'm like, no, let's add these little things. Let's add this extra guitar line and these extra vocal lines. And I
Oh, like, yeah, I remember we were recording and you had gone in and, you had added some extra vocals and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And then we went back and I listened and I'm like, "Ooh, let's do more of this." I love
not
the
that
extra vocals.
and not that I was right. I think it was a good balance between,
Yeah,
me pushing a little bit to add extra stuff and Jay there to go, okay, let's just do the album. Let's not because I would have I mean, I would still be recording it and adding different things on it if Jay hadn't been there to
but
keep us
I do like that. I
focused.
like the extra harmonies. Like, there's what one song, I can't remember. I think it was
Texas kind of
Texas Kind of Guy. Yeah, and their part where, we're doing it almost like a Eagles harmony thing going, we've got all these layers of harmonies built on top. And then I sing this one part really high. I've never before or since been able to sing that high, and we managed to get it captured in this one. I'm like, every time I listen to that, I was like, "Man, that just sounds so good."
Colin Boyd, man. That guy
Colin go yeah,
is
he made us sound good.
but anyway,
So,
all that I put you through towards wanting to add was probably because of Power Windows, just all those little details throughout the recordings that
yeah.
just made it such a masterpiece.
Every
Well,
Rush song fan is now going, how did we switch to a Durango Brothers song
well,
podcast?
I think that when we do the 23rd anniversary edition of the Durango Brothers album, uh, and, with full band, I think we should also maybe add some synth to it, maybe have a little bit of YYZ-ish drum solo action,
Maybe
you
bring in
know,
more strings, more
more
horns.
strings. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
exactly, yeah.
Um,
We're gonna do it,
okay.
let's do it right. It may take us 3 years to record, but, what the hell? Oh, you know what?
Oh,
23,
uh-oh. We're getting pretty close.
whoops.
We need to start recording. We need to start
Yeah, so
practice
the this next year will be the 20th anniversary of that album, if you can believe it. So,
of the
I'm
Durango
thinking we
brothers, not Power Windows.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Let's get back off topic. It sounds
So,
like those guys on Beer Thursday, they just can't stay on topic.
well, because and I wanna just a little bit more harp on Tim about emotion detector. Jay. Jay, do you dislike emotion detector as much as you dislike Tim? Let me rephrase that. Do you dislike emotion detector as much as Tim dislikes emotion detector?
Well, I mean, it's the reason I started writing songs, but I mean, no, I mean,
Oh,
everybody has their
yeah.
own opinion.
Oh my
But,
goodness.
um, no, I don't have a strong opinion, positive nor negative.
I think that after
Shane, it means he hasn't listened to the
That's
song.
right. I
He's
have
not
not
really
listened to
sure
it in
what,
20 years.
right to the heart of the
No, that's not true. I
matter.
just
Ba, ba,
haven't
ba, ba.
really paid attention to it. So that must not mean I enjoyed it.
Well, I think that after we discuss it, I think it may not move up Tim's rankings. It may not reach, the moving pictures or power windows or permanent waves level, but I think Tim will dislike it less after I tell him some of the things that I like.
Hey,
Which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show in the first place. When we
No.
get to things like Hold Your Fire, I think that we'll point out some things in Hold Your Fire that makes some of the Hold Your Fire haters out there go, well, you know what? It is a pretty good album. The same
See,
thing with
to
the
me,
first album.
to me, this is where Rush. I don't want to. I think it's wrong saying that they got away from their rock roots. The songs are still rock songs. They're just. I like to just categorize them as songs. They're just all the songs from Power Windows are good or great songs. I love all the songs from Hold Your Fire. To call it rock, though, it's a different kind of rock. And I don't want to say it was contemporary rock for the mid to late 80s,
Would you
right
call it
there.
progressive?
would
Well,
you
but
would it be
see, to,
fair to categorize it as synth rock?
but see, no, I don't consider it synth rock either, even though there's a hell of a lot of synthesizer work going on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it really got to the point for, again, speaking for Lurks, it, you know, they're coming up with these songs, and Getty's got all these great keyboard ideas and stuff. Alex is just trying to fit in, where can I put in a guitar part? And it just got to the point for him where it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this has gotten ridiculous. Well, I shouldn't be trying to find a guitar part to put in. We should be trying to think of, okay, what kind of synth pad can we put underneath this really kick-ass guitar part that I just wrote? You know, which
True.
started it started creeping back when they got to Presto, but even then, Alex lost the bottom of his guitar. It very, I don't want to say twangy, but
Yeah.
very treble-ish.
Think it was
You
the
know, it
equipment he
just
used because I think because before I think he was using the Les Pauls with the double pickups, the wider pickups,
right.
bigger sound. And I think maybe he was switching to I don't know, I don't know what equipment he used, but it sounds like he's using more of a Stratocaster or Telecaster or something with a single cord
Yeah,
pickup, so it gets the higher twangier sound.
right. And so
Maybe.
yeah, and and so was there more guitar playing when they did Presto and Roll the Bones? Yes,
Yeah.
but it was counterparts when the good, heavier sounding, a little more bass and bottom to the guitar sound came back. And Power Windows, it just went away. The great guitar sound. That's why it's hard for me. Yes, it is rock, but it's not the kind of rush rock that
Yeah.
everybody was used to. Great songs. Great
Well, that's
songs.
and that's what I was saying about Neil Peart. I mean, it's Peart. Did I
Yeah.
just say
You're
that?
yes.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god. So I'm gonna have to do a shot every time I say that. Um,
It's like,
um,
where? Oh,
well, that's why I was saying that it's not your typical, his typical drumming it's not Alex's typical guitar. I mean, he's fitting into the piece, but it doesn't like you're saying, we should find part where the synthesizer, a nice part for that to fit under
right. Yeah.
some kick
Yeah.
ass guitar playing. And so yeah, it does, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the album as a whole is a great album.
Right, right, right. And
You
Getty
know,
even said that, look, it was a lot easier to write a song from a keyboard,
yeah, I bet.
you know? Yeah, it was a lot easier to do that.
Yeah.
But
It's
but
true.
but now, speaking of Neil and Power Windows, that would have been the first album since A Farewell to Kings that he did not use his famous ride rhythm that you hear on YYZ, on Spirit of Radio, the din digga din din digga din digga digga din digga din din.
Didn't he call it the Macomas?
Yeah, it's called the McComas. But
This
yeah,
was the first album he
So
didn't do that?
he did not do it. He did not do it.
What about subsequent albums? Did he bring did he s
Yeah,
bring that back?
it came back.
But not necessarily right away.
Oh, he got
No,
silent. That
it
must mean
wasn't
he's a
because I'm
liar.
trying to think. I don't know. I don't think he didn't. Yes, he did. Time Stands Still from Hold Your Fire. He
Okay.
does the rhythm, but it doesn't last as long as in the other songs he had done that on. But that was the only song from that album. And then that ride rhythm, another break, because it doesn't show up on Presto.
Hey,
And I
Tim,
don't think it shows up on Roll the Boats.
Hmm.
Tim, I wanna
And
go
I don't think it shows up on Counterparts.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
Does he even
Tim,
like you?
I wanna go back
No.
and you had mentioned that you didn't think Signals was as synthy, and
You were wrong, by the way.
I
well,
don't
no,
think it's I
I
don't I
I
mean
just
it,
I for you
yeah,
for your pleasure, I spring to you Subdivisions.
okay,
You mean the synthesizer?
right. No, I get that.
Yeah.
But
But that's the first real album where they started to it's a different sound. The sound is evolving into something different. And like the previous album was what? Uh, that
Moving
was
Pictures.
Moving Pictures, right?
Yes.
So they're evolving to you got Moving Pictures and it kind of separates everything before and after.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's why I said
Great,
that
by the way.
yes
Born
from the first album. I I always go back and forth on, do I consider Signals the beginning of the synth era or not? And
Ooh, we
I
should
just
debate that. Like
Maybe it's just a toe dipping. It may
and
not necessarily been the
and
just
it
a little.
it could be because there is a lot more guitar playing from Alex on Signals than what you got from, I think, Grace Under Pressure. And then
Hmm.
they even said, we sort of lost the keyboards and the guitar came roaring back. Yeah, I mean, on a few songs, yeah, After Image, the beginning of that, yeah, that's just yeah, that great, great, great guitar right there. But see, what a lot of people would criticize about Alex and his guitar playing, starting from Grace Under Pressure and Power Windows and Hold Your Fire, was it was just a lot of little power chords being thrown out. For example, Distant Early Warning. You know, it's just bye. Just these one chord little strums here and there. You know, uh, anyways, what do I know?
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So, but back
And you're
to Power
wrong.
Windows, it's a wonderfully mixed album. The songs are great. The overall sound, it's bright, it's alive, uh, and it's in your face, and it's not going away.
I made this playlist. I can't remember if I told you, but it's the first song from each album, and then the second song from each album, and then the third song from each album. First to last album.
So how do
And
you title that playlist? First song? of each album, and then
It's
the
called,
second playlist is second songs from each album.
I
and
called
the
that
He
playlist, it's
calls
a
it track
bunch of
1, the
Rush
album.
songs, but all of them together in a Rush songs. You know what? I don't even remember what Rush.
I
It's just
think
called
he
Rush
calls it
All.
too much time on his hands.
Well, but you can hear it's I almost have to turn up the volume a little bit for Signals and Grace Under Pressure, and then turn it back down to normal for Power Windows,
right.
and then I have to turn it back up for Roll the Bones, Presto, or Roll the Bones, Hold Your Fire, and Presto, and then back down again to normal for Counterparts. I mean, you can hear, and maybe it's just a matter of mastering. Maybe at some point, if Presto, Roll the Bones, and Hold Your Fire get remastered, remixed, maybe they'll have a little more oomph in the sound. Well,
I'm a big fan of him.
this went
for
all over the
sure.
place. I did not expect to spend this much time just introducing.
Power Windows.
Yeah. Well, anyone else?
There's a lot to
like
unpack there.
Oh man. Yeah. Anything? Did we miss anything? You guys, anything you wanted to say for or against?
I love
Power
Lamp.
Windows? Oh yeah, Lamp.
Tim, do you love
Oh.
Lamp, or is it just you see one?
I love Lamp. I love Lamp.
Maybe you should get a lamp so that we can actually see you on video.
Well, that's a novel idea. That way we can see him so disinterested while he's looking at his phone the whole time. We
Well,
love Tim.
dear Rush fan, thank you for joining us on this journey, introducing you and ourselves to Power Windows. Find us on the social media. You know what? All the buttons, they always say follow, but you know what I say? You can click that follow button or that subscribe button, but you are joining us on this journey through every Rush song. So we are every Rush song on every social media platform. I even signed up. I don't know what Tumblr is or Reddit, but we're every Rush song on Tumblr and Reddit. So send me
that's amazing. We're
know.
all
Yeah.
over the place.
TikTok, every Rush song.
TikTok.
YouTube, every Rush song. Yeah, YouTube, definitely subscribe. That's our big one.
Swipe right.
Yeah. So next week, the
Or
first
left.
song, The Big Money.
Up.
Tim, how do we end this thing?
Thank you very much. Good night.